Thank you for signing up for the 4-H incubation program. Today I want to show you how to set up your incubator and get your eggs started. So for those of you with the incubation kit, you will find a small plastic incubator in your kit. Some people do still have those big styrofoam kits, and I will show how to set those up in another video, but most people will have these small plastic incubators. So these incubators seem complicated because there's a lot of parts, but I promise they're very simple. So just to kind of lay everything out for you, you should have two of these white trays, a bottom, clear plastic bottom, and then this will be the top of your incubator. So when you get the kit, this may already be put together or it may not, and it will also have one of these trays and a power cord. So what I do to start your setting up your incubators, you're going to put the tray in that has the little feet on it, so it sits just off the bottom of your incubator so that you can see there's a little space. And then on top of that, you're going to place this other tray on top, and it will sit the way this incubator is shaped. It has a natural shelf in it. But when you're putting this in, there are two sides, and one side has these raised ledges. So it's really important that those raised ledges are facing up, because that is how your egg tray is going to slide in your incubator. So this will go next, and you just set it in there. And like I said, there's a natural ledge shelf that this tray will stay on. So you can see maybe that there is a little space between those two. And then on top of that, you will see there is this is your tray. Some incubators may have more of these little separators in them, but most will have at least two. And this you're going to set in. So I'll show you up close, but I'm just going to pull this out just so you can see. The reason we have these ledges up, and it's important to have them facing up, is because this tray will sit in them, so you can't move it up and down, but you can move it side to side. And so that's essentially going to roll your eggs so that you don't have to manually turn. And you're lucky, because manually turning can be very time consuming and you may forget about it. So this does all that for you, so less labor intensive. So I'm going to put everything back in. Alright, and then we're going to take the top of our incubator. So this is the top, and you'll see that there is this little kind of wheel here. It's a circular with this pin that sticks out of it, and then on this side there's a wire that hangs out, and that's actually your thermometer reader. So try to make that as low as possible. You want it to be as close to the eggs as possible, so it gives you an accurate reading of what the temperature is right at the eggs. So when you're putting this on top, and I'll just show you, obviously you're going to set it in like this, but what you need to do when you're setting it down is get eye level, and you're going to stick this in this little slider over here on the side. So essentially it's going to slide in like that when you close it, okay? So obviously when you have the eggs in it, you're not going to be able to lift this up and put it in it. So you just have to get eye level and kind of watch it slide into that piece. So basically, just so you understand how it works, this circular, spinny, clear plastic piece, it actually spins. And so as it spins, it moves this prong in a circle. And so And essentially, instead of just having this slide back and forth itself, it's sliding the eggs in a full circle effect. So it'll slide up and down this part as it goes around, and this tray will move back and forth on those ledges. So I'm going to go ahead and put that together so you can kind of see. Well, you probably can't see, but this is essentially what it's going to look like. Now this incubator, the reason I'm using it is because it is a little deformed and I've got to fix it, so it's our model for today. Oh, so the other thing before you put the top on, and I usually help people with this, we do have a hygrometer. I keep saying it wrong. It's a hygrometer, and also has a thermometer on it. Don't worry about the thermometer at all. Just kind of ignore that number. And you're going to use the big number, and I'll give you a close-up that has a percentage. So you're going to put this up against the side so that you don't have to take the top off to read it, to read what the humidity is every time. So put that in the side, then you'll line it up, put it in, power cord, very simple. You're going to plug it into the top, just like that, and then plug it into the wall. And it automatically comes on at that point. Okay, so once your incubator is up and running, so we've just plugged it in, you'll see that there is a number flashing over here. So that just means that is up and working. But what we want to do is make sure that we have it set to the right temperature. So to do that, you hit set twice, and that the light comes on and it says 38 degrees and it's in Celsius. So that is the proper temperature that we want for our eggs. That converts to about 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit. And we really don't want to go any higher than that and really that much lower than that. So we're going to leave it set at 38 degrees, and you can see here, watch the temperature increase. Slowly but surely it'll go all the way up to 38. The great thing about these is that it will keep the temperature itself. Pretty much once you set the temperature for 38 degrees Celsius, you won't have to do a whole lot with the temperature.